Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Fahmi Ichwan. In this video, we will discuss the material of the recount text. Most of you are probably already familiar with recount text or have at least heard of the term recount text, especially if you enjoy reading. Okay, let's go to the explanation. In this material, we will discuss the definition of recount text, kinds of recount text, generic structure of recount text, language features of recount text, and the purpose of recount text. The first topic is the definition of recount text. So, recount text is a text that is telling the reader about one story, action, or activity. Recount text is a text which retells events or experiences in the past. Recount text is a text that telling the reader about one story, action, or activity. Its goal is to entertaining or informing the reader. The second topic is kinds of recount text. Recount text consists of personal recount, factual recount, biography, and history. Personal recount. So, a personal recount is a description of an event or experience that you went through. It is usually told as a narrative story. You have to use the first person point of view. The narrator tells the story from his or her point of view and refers to himself or herself as I. Here is the example of personal recount. A trip to the National Zoo and Aquarium. Yesterday, my family and I went to the National Zoo and Aquarium to visit new snow cubs and the other animals. In the morning, when we got to the zoo and aquarium, there was a great big line, so we had to wait a while to get in. After we entered the zoo, we went straight to the enclosure for the snow cubs. My brother and I were so excited to see them. They were so cute and playful. At lunchtime, Dad decided to cook a barbecue. He cooked sausages so we could have sausage sandwiches. Mom forgot the tomato sauce, so we had to eat them plain. In the afternoon, we visited the aquarium. My brother was excited to see the sharks and the tropical fish. At the end of the day, when we left, we were going to go and get ice cream, but we decided we were too tired, so we drove straight home. Next, we go to the factual recount. Factual recount is a text to describe a true experience or event that has actually happened. The events are retold to entertain or report to an audience, or both. It is different from a personal recount, as it is told from someone else's view and I is not used in this writing. Some types of factual recounts are newspaper reports and scientific experiments. Here is the example of factual recount. Thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are electrical storms that usually happen in the spring and summer months. They can occur singularly, in clusters, or in lines. Thunderstorms happen when warm. Most air quickly moves upwards. This causes clouds to form and creates gusty winds. During a thunderstorm, there is usually very heavy rain. These weather events can last just a few minutes, or they may last for much longer. Thunder and lightning are also very common during a thunderstorm. The loud sound that thunder makes is caused by the heat of the lightning that happens before you hear the thunder. Sometimes the sound of the thunder can last for several seconds. This is because the thunder echoes around the ground, mountains, hills, and buildings. Some of the worst thunderstorms happen when a single thunderstorm stays in one area for a long time. In these cases, thunderstorms can be very dangerous and can cause a great amount of the damage. Next, we go to the biography. Biography is a text that informs the reader about the person's life by retelling past events and achievements. This is the example of biography. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was born near the end of the 18th in Germany. He graduated from the University of Zurich in Switzerland at age 26. That was also when he did his famous work in physics. 14 years later, he won the Nobel Prize for Physics. For the next 10 years, he lived in Germany and traveled a lot to talk to other scientists. Then, in the early 1930s, he had to leave Germany because of Hitler and the Nazi Party. He moved to the United States. From that time until his death, he lived in Princeton, New Jersey. He died at the age of 74. And the last kind of recount text is historical. Historical recount is a text that used to explain and retell factual events in the past that has historical values. Unlike personal recounts, the writer of a historical recount doesn't need to be personally involved in the event they are writing about. Social function of this recount text is to inform the audience on historical events. This is the example of historical recount. Proclamation of Indonesian Independence. The Proclamation of Indonesian Independence was read at 10 a.m. on Friday, 17 August 1945. The declaration marked the start of the diplomatic and armed resistance of the Indonesian National Revolution, fighting against the forces of the Netherlands and pro-Dutch civilians until the latter officially acknowledged Indonesia's independence in 1949. The Netherlands declared that they had decided to accept de facto 17 August 1945 as Indonesia's independence date. The United Nations, who mediated in the conflict, formally acknowledged the date of independence as 27 December 1949. The document was signed by Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta, who were appointed president and vice president respectively the following day. And we go to the next topic, the generic structure of recount text. There are three generic structure of recount text. There are orientation, events, and reorientation. The first one is orientation. Orientation gives the readers the background information needed to understand the text, such as who was involved, where it happened, and when it happened. The second is events, a series of events ordered in a chronological sequence. The third is reorientation, a personal comment about the event or what happened in the end. Next, we go to the next topic, language features of recount text. There are using the simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Using temporal sequence. Example, on Saturday, on Monday, on Sunday. Focus on specific participant. Example, I, as the writer. Using the conjunctions, such as then, before, after, etc. Using action verb. Example, when, stayed. And now we are in the last topic. It is the purpose of recount text. The purpose of recount text is to list and describe past experiences by retelling events in the order in which they happened. Recounts are written to retell events with the purpose of either informing or entertaining their audience or both. In a simple word, the purpose of recount text is to retell past experience. I think that is enough for me. Hopefully, my explanation can be useful for all of your learning. If you feel this video has helped you, please share and comment in the comments column so you can be even more enthusiastic about making even better videos. Thank you for watching and see you later.